Here we are, Chatcast, part 2 in the Moral Foundation series. We're going to handle fairness. So last week we talked about care. I hit you with the tough love angle. Kyle did a generalization of possibly what care looks like. Actually, not possibly, definitely what care looks like for a human being, and gave his own little twist and insight on that. And we're going to pick that up, same style as this time, since this is my brainchild, this rodeo. I like to be fair and go first. We're gonna talk about fairness. Here's another area where I get charged with sometimes, like maybe not seeming fair or caring about being fair, but not as much as with care. I really do feel like people think that I don't care about other people because I usually take the tough love angle. That's how I was raised. It would just be like, okay, deal with it. Like if I didn't want to eat something, my mom would be like, okay, guess you're not hungry. It'll be here when you want to eat again. And I couldn't eat the thing until I ate, or I couldn't eat anything else until I ate that, because that's the way I was raised. Yeah, and my dad was just always like, yeah, deal with it. And then another way is with like little kids, which is just completely obvious. And I got to play this game all the time with my little girls, is that I got to make sure, are we eating the same sizes of cake, the real obvious levels of fairness in those situations, and I really try to stick with it with that. You have the floor.
Okay. So I'm gonna just keep doing what I did last time and just pare it down really simply because that seems to work for my brain. So the thing that I thought about while you were talking, is that the idea that, like, regardless of how you express fairness, everybody agrees that fairness needs to be pursued. So when you're talking about, like, you were talking about like fiscal fairness, like who gets paid what.
Yes.
Okay. So some people would argue that it's fair that everybody gets exactly the same dollar amount regardless of what they bring to the company, whatever. Mm-hmm. The company distributes that evenly, that's fair.
Yeah.
Then another person would say, no, due to whatever their job importance level is, we distribute the money that way, that's fair. The thing isn't that somebody's being fair and somebody's not necessarily, it's that everybody universally wants fairness to be achieved. Now, how they're expressing that or how they feel it should be accomplished is different, but at its root, when you boil everything back down, fairness is its foundation. So the same thing with like cake with your kids.
Yeah.
Because they always want the same sliced cake. Well, you could also use the rationale that while I could give you both equal sizes of cake, that you are slightly bigger, child A, and you are slightly smaller, child B. And so your cake should be proportionate with the size you are, and we'll figure out that mathematical ratio and distribute evenly, and that is fair.
Yeah, that would work. Children, it doesn't, but yeah, that would work.
No, I don't think it would work with children.
Yeah.
I'm just using it as an example.
Yeah.
It's like, that is, so there's two different takes on what would technically be fair there. But the thing that you always have to realize in talking about it as a moral foundation across societies is that fairness is something that internally that we strive for, because in a society that's unfair, you start to lose trust, and you start to lose trust in your systems, your authorities, you start to lose trust in each other, and then everybody starts looking out for themselves because they realize no one's going to treat them fairly. So in a society where everybody just looks out for numero uno, then you have chaos. And so fairness is something that actually benefits everybody. Now, we all argue over what is or isn't or how it should be
because
expressed.
What's coming to mind while you're saying this is, and to me, is that fairness doesn't necessarily mean equality of outcome. But go on.
Yeah. So
because after you brought up your cake analogy, which was a very scientific, very rational approach, a bigger person, bigger piece, it made me realize that maybe fairness doesn't equate to equality of outcome.
Side note, this is just for free, is St. Augustine talked about...
So far, this has all been for free. I know. I hate to burst your bubble.
The reason that I thought about the cake thing the way I did is because St. Augustine talks about like the presence of God in the world. He's like, if it's based on how big you are, then that would mean that an elephant has more God in him than like a sparrow because an elephant's bigger. And so he like literally thought about it, and I just think that's funny. So that's why I was thinking about fairness like that. It's like, what's fair?
But no, I dig that. I see what you're saying. It's again something we all strive for, and then I think what's neat is that what we've determined was that it doesn't necessarily mean that it means that things are perfectly equal.
Right.
That's another thing we've unearthed in this. Fairness doesn't necessarily mean, because if this woman is working harder than those two guys, she should get paid more.
Yeah.
Or if those 3 guys are working harder than those 5 guys, they should get paid more.
Right.
Or if that kid is doing the nerdy kid that you guys bullied into doing the whole project, did the whole project, then you all deserve zeros. And he deserves extra credit.
Or even if you take it into consideration, like if you and I both jump a foot, then you'd assume that our reward would be equal for that. But if your foot was on flat ground and mine was over a 90-foot drop, it's like I have more to risk here. So you should be like, hey, good job for risking that, you know? So if you have more risk involved, that's a terrible analogy because
I don't know. It kind of made sense. Like it's that risk thing. There, if I'm jumping over a crack in the sidewalk.
Yeah, no, I like that. You're like, I don't know. It kind of made sense.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of did. Anyways, we're going to put a lid on this one. Hope you enjoyed the fairness part. We're going to be back next week. We're going to keep rolling with these. Like I said, there's going to be 6 of them. We might double up on some, but maybe not. I would kind of like the idea of squeezing 6 videos out of this lemon. So until next time, peace.